Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Javier Fuenmayer. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna go through how you can do this with just a single Sharpie and a glass with pure sleight of hand. And then we're also going to be showing you how we can use different gimmicks in order to accomplish this same effect. Now, if you want a chance to win the very gimmicks we're gonna be making in this video, leave a comment below letting me know what you would like to see in this channel. And by this time next week, I'll be shipping those very gimmicks to one lucky winner anywhere in the world. There's one thing you may want to do to your Sharpie cap in order to make all of the tricks a million times easier to do. Grab yourself a serrated knife and then take the Sharpie cap, and then the top round edge, as you can see, is very smooth. We're going to roughen it up by just moving that knife up and down. You want to do it to that side of the cap, plus also the bottom part of the cap. After you've done this a bunch of times all around the Sharpie cap, now it's going to be incredibly easier for us to palm it, making all of the tricks we're about to learn that much simpler. Check this out, we just have the single Sharpie here. We're just gonna take the cap off, and if I take the cap and push it through the bottom of that glass, it goes straight through. It was gonna fall. Now, as you can see, I'm just using a single Sharpie and a glass. That's pretty much it. So if you're familiar with Gregory Wilson's Recapped, this is gonna be fairly easy to do. All you have to do is not have the cap fully tight onto it. You wanna leave it kind of slightly off so that you can very easily remove that Sharpie from the cap. Now, I like to place the Sharpie cap right here where my index finger meets the palm. That is going to allow me to take out the Sharpie and pivot it right where the silver and the black meet. That's kind of like the pivot point. And I'm going to clip this Sharpie cap right in between those points there. That's why we roughened those edges, so that we would have more grip when we palm it. I'm then going to use the middle finger and thumb to grab the middle of that Sharpie. As I pretend to pull the Sharpie cap off, I put the Sharpie onto the table. Continuing to keep that palmed, I'm going to grab it, and then all I do is pretend to push that Sharpie. There's nothing in my hand, but you just pretend to push it up as you time this to fall at the same time. So when you put those two together, all that happens is it just looks like you push that Sharpie cap straight through the bottom of that glass. For this one, you'll see it's a little bit different because I'm going to take the Sharpie cap off of the Sharpie, just like this. You can clearly see it. You can also see the glass here, and you'll see that it goes straight through the bottom of the glass, just like this. Now, of course, the Sharpie fell, so I need to get that. Plus, I also need to get the second Sharpie cap that I used to do this trick. So all it is you have an extra cap, you leave it slightly off so it's loose like before, and then you're gonna start off with this actually palmed already. Okay, now when we get the Sharpie, I take this and we can clearly show this. Now here I lapped it, so I just dropped it off of the edge of the table as I was showing the glass here. But if you don't have a table, you can just hold it in your fist like this, and you bring it close to your hoodie and you just drop it. Now your audience is going to believe you have the cap here regardless of how you got rid of it. And now all you do is push it through the bottom and it creates the illusion of that penetration. For this one, you'll see that it is a little bit more visual. We're gonna take the cap, we're gonna take the glass, and you'll see that we just push it straight through and it goes straight through. So what I'm doing here is I actually have a second Sharpie cap one more time, and all you're gonna need for this is just a little bit of double-sided stick tape. I'll get rid of this one that I have and I'll make it here with you. I just take out maybe 2 inches or 5 centimeters, and I'm going to just, almost like the size of my thumbnail, I'm going to double it up and double it up again until it's over. So you have like almost like a little pack of double-sided stick tape, and I'm gonna put it all the way to that knuckle, to my first knuckle there of that thumb. I'm gonna push it down, and that is going to make that cap vanish. So all we're doing is, once again, we have a Sharpie with the cap loose on. I also then have the Sharpie cap that has been roughened so that it's easier to palm it. And when we take the Sharpie, we're gonna take the cap and we're actually going to place the cap in this way, so that when we open up our thumb like this, the Sharpie cap actually hides behind the thumb, and it creates the illusion that the Sharpie cap went through the glass. We then hide the thumb by covering the fingers in front, just like this, as we tip it out. And then you're done. Now, if you want, as you transfer the glass from one hand to the other, you can actually palm that away. And now when you set that down, you can get rid of your cap with the tape, and now you're clean. This one is actually one of my favorites from the video because you can clearly see the cap and the glass, and you see the moment that it goes straight through the glass. Now, you will need a little gimmick in order to do this, and let me show you, because it's actually kind of cool, and it's this right here. So in order to make the gimmick, all you have to do is have some elastic thread. This is the one that I'm using here. Wrap around maybe like your phone, make a knot or two so that it's strong and sturdy, cut the excess, and now all you're gonna have is this little round elastical band that is going around your wrist. Now, in the video here, you didn't see me do the little move that's going to hook the Sharpie onto that little gimmick that we just made. But it's actually really simple. If you take this little opening of the cap and you just slide it down, it's just going to hook on. So as you can see, during your performance, you just come over and it's going to hook on, and you're just going to grab it in that little section. As you may have already guessed, you're going to have your roughened Sharpie cap finger palmed here, so that when you remove that, you put the Sharpie away. Now you can grab the cup exactly how we've been holding it, and all you have to do is time letting go of this Sharpie cap, because it's going to just go behind our wrist there as we do this. So as you can see from here, well, technically from the front, they can't see the elastic, okay? But from here, we can clearly see that it's exposed there. We're going to just let go, and that's going to go behind our wrist and hide like that. I do want to mention, if you don't have the elastic thread to do that visual vanish, you can very easily just have some rubber band, put those around your wrist, and then you're going to take a Sharpie cap and just tie a rubber band around that clip. You put that on your wrist like this, and now you have that same exact vanish, but with rubber bands. I should also mention that I like to do the vanish also by holding the cap in this way like this. I feel like it looks a little bit better than when we hold it this way, and when that Sharpie cap lands inside of the cup like this, it matches the look of this Sharpie cap. So it just kind of cements in their face that it's that same Sharpie cap that went through the glass. I'm really liking this little elastic gimmick. I'm sure there's gonna be multiple things that we can do with it. For now, I've just been experimenting with that Sharpie cap through glass. I'm pretty sure if we take maybe like a sugar packet, fold it in half, run it through